is finally here. Game day with Bubba K. Lo and behold, the Mac attack just won't go away. Northern Illinois refuses to let the dream go. They better hang on tight Saturday at Bowling Green. Going down the stretch run, here they come for the Heisman. Jason's in the lead, but Larry ain't too far behind him. Can't forget about Super Simmons or K. Jones. Things are heating up. If you can't take it, you should stay home. Finally, the only poll that matters has arisen. Several once beaten teams waiting in the wings. If the undefeated can't escape the season clean.
He's going to win the Heisman Trophy. If Oklahoma goes undefeated and plays in the national championship game, he will win the Heisman Trophy. But Larry Fitzgerald is the best player in college football. The Heisman Trophy says most outstanding player. Why shouldn't Larry Fitzgerald win the Heisman Trophy?
I totally agree with you. Larry Fitzgerald is the best player in America, followed by Cadillac Williams, but Jason White will win the Heisman Trophy.
Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, you start them up. That's good race. You look up the orange crowd here. It is a weird Heisman race, isn't it? Fitzgerald has to fight history because he's a sophomore. White was a non-factor, really, because of injuries until this year.
I can't remember a year where we're a week away from November, and you really have to stretch to come up with 5 candidates for the Heisman Trophy. Everybody agrees that Jason White is the front runner, and he could go on to win this, the quarterbacking #1 team in the country. Fitzgerald is the best player in the country, but he's not getting the recognition because his team's not winning. And Eli Manning, you got to wonder if he's going to win enough games. After that, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
It's a wide-open race outside of Jason White.
You know, talk about a great success story. Jason White had 6 career touchdown passes before this year, and now he's the leading.
Sooners on upset alert in Boulder, but Colorado 115 pass defense, dead last in scoring defense, and now OU Texas Tech. Gary Barnett and the embattled coordinator Vince Okrew, they look foolish, they say, because they thought this was going to be a good defense. The Buffs' rushing offense also second worst in the conference. Fragile is how Barnett describes the Buffalo's psyche. It's weird to label the 2-time defending division champions a possible look-ahead game for Oklahoma. But then again, Bob Stoops simply will not allow look-ahead games. This is a major chance for Jason White to showcase that Heisman campaign. I mean,
Major.
Speaking like an alum, we love
That's right.
CU this year. They're really struggling. Their pass defense, Chris just touched on it, has struggled all year. Wow, 19 touchdown passes alone. That number's going to go up by at least 4 today. Jason White gets most of the credit, but there's plenty of credit to go around. And I think one of the guys that deserves as much as anybody should be Mark Clayton, the wide receivers from Oklahoma. That's the difference this year with Oklahoma, the speed and the ability to get downfield in a hurry with those great receivers. Look at Clayton catching the ball in traffic. He's been a big difference, and he's the leader of this depth. Now, 40 points a game Colorado's allowing. When you're playing Oklahoma, who's just on a roll, steamrolling to New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl, that's not a good thing. Oklahoma not only wins, but they win once again big.
Well, you know, under Bobby Stoops, he's famous for having great defenses, and you would think that's the way they're winning this year. Not so fast, my friends. Let's take a look at that Oklahoma sensational offense. They're #2 in the nation in scoring. They got the #1 Heisman Trophy candidate. They can score from any part of the field. This should be a disaster. A disaster for Colorado. Oklahoma, big time. Big time.
you know who deserves...
Double not so
No, hell no.
No,
You know who deserves credit?
He doesn't have to know it.
You know who deserves credit for Mark Clayton? Steve Spurrier Jr. is the guy that said, let's give that guy a scholarship. The skinny kid, he could not bench press 150 when he got to OU.
He's a different player.
Yards after the catch. A lot of them tonight. Yeah, the BCS Inc. Double not so. I'll give you a double. Hey, the BCS. Bob Stoops would have a hard... Maybe not. It doesn't really matter.
No,
1-2.
Forget it, Brad. It ain't going to happen. Listen, let's take a look at Oklahoma. Last year, you know, Bobby Stoops and his staff learned a valuable lesson of their team being confident and being cocky. Well, being overconfident and cocky cost them the Oklahoma State and Texas A&M games. Knocked them out of the championship. Stoops is a quick learner. Not this year, my friends. They'll be ready.
Well, the adjustment of moving Eric Bassi out and Dante Nicholson into that secondary, they're not having the breakdowns in the back end the way they did last year against A&M and Oklahoma State. Plus, that schedule's very nice. After today, one more game on the road, and that's Texas Tech at the end of the year, and then the Big 12 title. Don't worry about Oklahoma. They'll be fine.
Playing in the rarefied air at a higher level than just about everybody else. The #1 team in the land, Oklahoma, going into Colorado Hey, Ralphie and the fellas, they've had trouble on defense. Colorado, 115th in pass defense. That's third worst. And Jason White takes advantage early to Brandon Jones. White, Jones, these two have had a little chemistry on the deep ball. Boomer Sooner up 7-0.
And you talk about chemistry. Look at Mark Clayton. Here's a wide receiver that Jason White has known he could go to time and time again. Here he is in the slot. Look at the nice catch he's going to make here in amongst the defenders. Beautiful catch, 16-yard touchdown catch. It's 27-7 at that point. Now, later in the fourth quarter, you see Mark Clayton again here. Cuts it back, gets it on the sideline, 60 yards for the touchdown. Mark Clayton is the guy that Jason White knows he can go to. 6 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You got to realize what that play was, too. That was in a 27-20 game on 3rd and 6 with Colorado trying to get the ball back and spring the upset. That is a championship caliber play, both from White and from Clayton. Oklahoma, 34-20. The Sooners remain unbeaten in the Pac-10.